We're doing Metal Gear Solid 3 tonight. I've been really nervous to actually approach this one because this has been its own thing, man. I'm not as good as I am on Metal Gear Solid 2. This one's a little rougher for me, even though a lot of people think, or not think, a lot of people feel it's easier. Their opinion is stronger on the easier side. But to me, I'm not so familiar with it. I played a lot of Metal Gear Solid 2 growing up. Metal Gear Solid 3 came out right when I was doing other things. But in this stream, we're going to mainly focus on the story of the cinematics.
What a thrill with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor,
The music is just too
for
phenomenal.
you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I lie to you. I'm still
All of this art, too, it's like things that I want to reflect in the tattoo work that I'm doing. Like, I just really want to capture this game's aesthetic.
someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I lie to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Those skeletons are just so cool, too, I think.
I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
It's very rare that a franchise maintains its quality and its aspects all the way up to its third. But this game does. Now let's just take time to explore the menu, guys. Look, you can change the camo patterns, different shadows and shades. Honestly, really appealing to artists. The camouflage is just crazy. None of this stuff you really use in game, but you do use a lot of different types of camo. Got a different plethora of options. We're gonna go load, just so you guys can see my previous playthroughs. I've played a little bit. I play on extreme often on this one because it's a little easier on the difficulty than it is on number two. Number two is like so precise. So for right now, even though my favorite Metal Gear Solid's probably two, I'm really caught up on one. I love them all, you know. But we're gonna go. I like Metal Gear Solid 3 on this one. Extreme, I don't really mess around with that. Not often. I've done playthroughs with it. It's really rough, really tedious. But we're gonna do an extreme run. We're gonna try to get as minimal alerts as we can. Absolutely no kills. Absolutely no rations. You know, that kind of thing. Doesn't matter about the time because we're watching the cutscenes, of course. But I'm gonna die a lot often. I already know there's parts that are gonna be rough for me. but not necessarily rough as in, I don't know. If I try and do a big boss run, I have to repeatedly load back and plan out saves and plan out things. This is kind of the plan out structure I'm going to do. I'm not going to be looking up guides or look up any kind of like tip videos. I'm going to try to figure it out myself. Maybe stream people that are on there tell me different techniques. But let's enjoy
After
this
the
game.
end of World War II,
I'm not going to talk
the
or make
world
as
was
many
split
jokes
into
either,
two,
because
East and
I
West.
don't want to saturate
This
that
marked the beginning of the
on these
era called the
cutscenes.
Cold War.
So enjoy the cutscenes. If you don't, I'm sorry if it's slow paced. Also, I'm not gonna play as long on these streams. I did the second game in one sitting. I'm not doing the whole second game in one sitting. But enjoy. Thank you, Hideo Kojima, for all of this content. I'm sorry that the games move forward without you. It's really rough. And David Ader, of course, and everybody else that made this game. Thank you, guys. Let's watch this movie. Slash game.
Flying over Pakistan, altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Motion director, Saul Toyota.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
I love this sequence.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop-off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous mission.
Virtual mission.
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB-754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov, isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No. According to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Damn, he's ready.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino Yask in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the West. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes.
That's the Fulton extraction
Once
system
it's
that they
complete,
use in the
gunship
newer
sample
Metal
will
Gear
latch
Solid
onto the
5.
balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with
It's an
the
actual
theory.
real
Take it easy.
thing.
It's been combat-proof.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat Talon?
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as two 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast.
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Wow. Alright guys, we're entering the jungle. Watch me fail. I haven't played in a while too, by the way, so my skills in this game are shoddy to say the most. It's that famous snake landing. That's what he does in number 2 as well. Same exact pose. It's pretty cool. He's been deployed. That's like the snake activation pose right there. David.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be...
He means he'll be eating them
I'll
all
be
the
Tom.
time.
Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the
See,
Fox
these,
unit
I know you
specialty.
can unlock another
In other words,
section the
weapons
more
and
you call
equipment
them.
are procure on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
Get it back.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button.
Okay, we already know that. That's easy enough, okay. The tutorial stuff I can tell. But let me get back to the basics and let's figure it out. X does the roll movement. That's the crouch movement. In the 3DS version, you can actually walk while you're crouched, but in this version, you can't. And then you got first person view, R1, circles the punches, you know. You do the 2-hit combo. Or you can hold the circle and do some CQC, I believe. And there's counters involved too. Holding circle does the grab, I believe, also. But holding circle and forward does the cool CQC throw. That's what we're going to use primarily when we get into these close encounters with people, is the CQC throw. It's pretty much goated right there. CQC throw and, what is it? Learning to use and utilize your camo index and learning the enemy's pathways is pretty much key to getting through this shit. So let's go. I will show you the Keratans that I discovered too. I have actually went through the game and found them on a previous playthrough. So I have the Keratan stuff, which the Keratans are a little frog collectible that show up in each of these little map sequences. Kind of encourage you to explore the game as you go through, which we're going to do a lot of that on this playthrough. It's not like Metal Gear Solid 2 where it's more linear. This one's linear in a way, but there's exploring areas, open areas that you can use to cover and sabotage the enemies. We might even go after some trophies that I didn't get. Might create a list after this stream to initially get them. I'm trying to get platinum, but I haven't gone for the big boss on this. I've tested the game out. What's cool about this is when you're looking for snakes, you can kind of watch the grass move and see if there is any of them. So we're going to climb this tree, pressing that triangle button, your action button. And now if you look right up here, you can see it. This little frog. A Keratan. But we're going to got to get this first.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left.
I accidentally skipped this. My bad, guys. It's the boss's freaking...
Try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
You can't even skip tutorials or touch them, guys. Nothing else shall be skipped.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
Okay, I guess he's serious now. Okay, so we can get that Keratan up here. With Metal Gear, I'm not used to streaming it. It's a balance of gameplay and cinematics. I don't want to drown out the stream with cinematics, but it's not going to be drowned out. This is what this stream is on this. So sorry if you guys don't like Metal Gear or don't want to watch those cutscenes or codec calls. It's part of capturing the story, you know? Did not mean to skip them. Alright, this place is pretty easy. There's no sentries just yet. I don't think so, according to my memory. But if you really want to look for food, excuse me, I was just drinking a soda. But if you guys really want to look for like food and snakes and stuff, you can see them through the grass almost if you stand still. We haven't found one yet, but and you want to be careful with these gators. They will mess you up if you get pretty close. We don't really want to bother them, but we're gonna go through right here. And also this quicksand stuff. You don't want to get stuck lingering in it. I'm gonna take this though. It's a suppressor. There's nothing else around here. Look, there's a snake. Let's beat it up. Thank you for this gracious meal. There's also fruits in the trees sometimes. Ooh, what is it, Snake? Oh, it's
Major,
these
I've
guys.
spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The
Don't
Major
engage
is
them in
right.
battle.
The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed.
I like the little cutscenes up there.
You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index.
Oh no, these snake is.
The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Alright, let's be one with nature, guys. Alright, so being one with nature immediately means that you need to take off your clothes and be one with nature. Big Boss style. See? One with nature. Then, display complete mastery over the camouflage index by getting back into the camo. We'll go with woodland, guys. I'm playing from the beginning. If you guys did a playthrough and did all this stuff, you guys probably have, we're going to change the camo again. Probably have different camouflage, but as you see, we're laying on the ground. So now we have 30 as opposed to this 50. We need to have a really high camo right here. Because what we did is create a site over there so this guy thinks that we're over there. He's going to come through while we just walk through. And I don't think there's a guy over here. We can go right here and use the D-pad. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, you want to play this game with me, don't you? Boom. That's that hold circle, grab, throw. Hold circle forward in a direction. We're going to leave this guy. No need to engage. But there's also a Keratin over here. That other guy might wake up. So, what I'm going to do so we don't have to deal with them like that is put that guy to sleep. The other guy's probably awake by now. No, he's not. He's just laying there. You can shoot them anywhere when they're on the ground. Put them to sleep. But if you're gonna explore an area and you want to stay in stealth, do that guy. Easy picking. And with a snake. Ooh, snake. I'm about to eat one. I think. Oh no, it's right here. No, it's a bird. But anyways, I think the Keratin. Be careful, guys. Okay. Keratin is up there. See him? See him? See him? Now, these guys get frustrating sometimes because you have to shoot them. We're not going to gather all of them. Just the ones I know. First section, not so bad. It gets more challenging. I'm not as patient. He hella stands out. Ooh. Bees, nice. His smile. Of course you know what we're gonna do on this one. If you just go right here, pop that little beehive.
Who's that?
Oh snap. Let's leave and come back, guys. We don't really want to risk the alert so quickly in. But you know what I mean when I say I don't know this game as good as Metal Gear Solid 2. Gotta use different elements to our advantage, like those bees. Could have just shot the guy, but we need the Maybe the beehive's gone. Anyways, gonna have to improvise. Oh, I didn't even hit him. Things are about to go south. Oh, there's the beehive. Okay, we're not even hitting the beehive. There you go. And the Keratin's right here, by the way. You can hit it, but also chase this guy. It'll cause the other two guards to turn around, and then you don't get seen. There's also a camouflage under here. Let's see if we can get it without dying. Hell yes. Good win, guys. Good win. There's some stuff. We don't really need it. No, it's a different time when there's a camo. You come through here and you get a camouflage. There might be a guy right here. May or may not be. Like I said, I'm not savvy with the whole game. I know controls, but let's get one of these bitter-ass mushrooms. Let's force him to eat it right now, guys. Just because we can do this. No, it's good. Grow a taste to it by eating it often. Oh man. Welcome to the stream, by the way, whoever's on. If you're down to watch some Metal Gear.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump.
This place is a dump.
I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Sorry for being so late.
Understood.
Yeah, he got
Beginning my
wrecked.
approach to the target.
Alright guys, let's approach this target. So we got these people chilling. I'm pretty sure there's a better way to do this, but I like to just shoot them from a distance like this. He got hit once. I think he got hit once. We'll shoot him twice just in case. Dude, they might pass out. Definitely your imagination, dude. Since we shot him twice, he went out kind of like at the same time as the other guy. There's another guy here. You can headshot him. Because... Or not headshot him. But this one doesn't have laser sights. Just iron sights. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. So it's a little more difficult than Metal Gear Solid 2 in that aspect. Now, I'm not too sure if there's another guy way over here. So, I'm kind of being conscious of him. He might be up there. But we could utilize our camo and be patient. Patient. There's another guy over there. Way over there.
What's wrong?
What's wrong, dude? Are you asleep? Did you go night-night? It's too early for night-night.
This is HQ.
Oh shit, he called HQ.
Being attacked. Enemy position unknown. Going into high alert.
Oh, he's going into high-ass alert, dude. See what I mean? But like, I'm not so thorough as I can get super through this fast enough. They are thorough as hell. And I need to get my camo index up. So, right when I paused the game, I saw a guy up there. What I'm going to do is try and get my camo index really high and pop him with a shot. He might stop for a second, too. So we're hoping on that. Or he might just see me. He's coming. Dang, dude. Holy shit, his tolerance is high. Alright, Snake, come on, get out of the... there might be stuff that we have to gather. He's out. We got an alert, though. That's an alert. Already. Do not approach Sokolov, an alert. Dude basically saw me, didn't even call HQ alert. I didn't hold circle and throw him fast enough. But enjoy the cutscene. Sorry for the bad gameplay, by the way. I shouldn't have been caught.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of GRU. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power.
As you can tell, if anybody's watching, there's a lot going on. A lot.
The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No. I have
His
no love
grin.
for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about
Roger.
the sentries?
I managed to get past them.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Alright, let's get Soko out. I do not think this is when you get ambushed. There's a spot where you get ambushed. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling. I'll be shut up. It might be a very important cutscene to people that are new to this game. Cutscenes for Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 are really ingrained in my childhood memory. These ones aren't as much because I was already grown when I was playing it. I didn't truly appreciate them because I was in love with number 1 and 2 so much. Oh shit, that's kind of scary.
Freeze!
Do not engage in combat.
So this is the legendary boss.
He thinks he's the boss.
We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
He's an
He's
officer.
the Ocelot commander.
He's commander.
That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is
Josh
ours.
Keaton.
Get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
His little meow
What?
thing's funny. What a dick. They all just watch him do that. It's a really famous shot of the series. It's number one, he does that often to you.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the Gru.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
That crap. Oh man.
Crew operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
That slam though.
You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
He laid him out.
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
That famous line. Welcome to the stream, by the way. Welcome, welcome. Now we may not play for a crazy amount of time after this, but we're gonna watch some more.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you alright?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgin.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgans.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
Alright, so this is pretty easy. You can grab these people. Mousetraps would be useful. I haven't used it really, but that's why we're exploring this game, seeing what's in it. Yeah, I've collected a lot of the collectibles. I forgot to mention there is one right here, I think. There we go. Now we don't need a suppressor. Everybody's asleep. So let's go loud. Oh, dude, I didn't know you can strafe like that. That's so crazy. So in every time I play Metal Gear Solid, even though I've played it in and out multiple times, I've learned different stuff. Might be basic to some, but I didn't know this. You could also see the frog. That way people, if you're trying to play through it and casually find the frogs, if you explore the environment and just walk around, you should be able to find them. Some of them are hidden, super, like on the sequence. I don't even know why he has that gun out. How do you put it away? I guess when you equip it, he just runs with it. There's a knife out like that. Just studying the basic actions. Still, I'm sorry. Okay, so in Metal Gear Solid 2, I didn't know if you hold L1, you will lock on to things as you go. I wonder if it locks on to these people, but it causes you to strafe. I didn't know he could strafe. I don't know what battles that would help out in, but it's definitely a different element that I didn't know. Let's use it. So right here, you're just kind of going back. Chasing after Sokolov, or whatever his name is.
You okay?
Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best GRU has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Oh, snap. What is that?
That's what they were making you build.
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
A lot of the games follow the trend of showing the Metal
Is
Gear
that
off
thing
in the
finished?
beginning of the game.
No.
I think
this
he
is
doesn't do that on
only
Metal Gear
phase
Solid
1.
1.
It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2.
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War.
It has resemblance of
Yes.
Sahelanthropus from Metal
And
Gear
then
Solid
the Age of
5.
Fear will truly begin.
World War.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America.
What? Selfish
Please,
and
take me
mother.
to America. Quickly.
Just kidding.
They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
Alright. Easy peasy, guys. that's sad. These moments are really sad, touching, and defining all at the same time.
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Hornets.
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back.
That guy's hella creepy.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of
All of them
hell
are pretty
itself.
fucking creepy, actually.
It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Kuwabara, Kuwabara.
When I was a kid, I didn't take the boss seriously. I was just wondering, like, why is this woman fighting snakes? I kind of skipped through some of the cutscenes. I'm sorry to betray the game like that, but I've played it so many times I've watched them individually.
Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads.
Ho ho, snap, he's flexing.
These will make a fine gift for me.
That's
This
some
can't be
Fallout
happening.
stuff.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples?
That bandana,
We
that's
taking him
where
with
she
us?
gets it from.
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
She's gotten so good she could just dismantle stuff that fast.
You've seen my
That's
face.
terrible.
We can't let him live.
He just twitches out.
If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished.
So I guess he's trying to overthrow Khrushchev. He's trying to work with the United
die.
States.
Wait,
As I'm
he's my
processing
apprentice.
this
I'll
slowly.
take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
That's sad. Okay, I guess not. They both have the same gloves, it seems. They communicate through CQC. She takes her bandana to remember.
The new blood has been rejected.
Ouch. He's too good to be a follower.
Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Dang. Must be emotional for her.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
How many missed calls he's got? If you look closely here, you can see a skeleton in the background. Or I think it's the second time you come here. First time, actually. Should be in the background. That skeleton is the Sorrow. Alright, let's see what you guys got to say.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major. The boss.
He's emotionally damaged.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button.
See, I would skip
Cure,
this,
you can
but
start the treatment.
there might be story content.
Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely. Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Alright, so we're here to treat these wounds. See the skeleton back there? Top left of the log? That's the Sorrow. But anyways, with the life bar that we have here, if you're unfamiliar with the game, you can increase the life bar by curing yourself halfway. Let's see if we can do it with this. So we're going to need bandages and other things. But if you cure it just slightly, you should be able to naturally heal from the wound. But I don't think it's going to happen in the tutorial section. Tutorial section's pretty much telling you how to fix everything. So we'll get to it when we get to it. I think we have to sew up the wound. Then also disinfect it. And I think use a styptic to stop the bleeding. Gunshot wounds. That's a cut. Knife, no. Splint, styptic. There we go. Styptic. Knife, no, not knife. Suture, bandage, disinfectant. Disinfectant. Broken Bones use splint, and then they also use bandages, I believe. But for a broken bone, I would just literally use the one item, leave it, and then he'll heal naturally and get more of his maximum life. That's how you increase your life bar. But we're gonna try and keep it as small as possible. Oops, I'm not thinking. He needs the bandage. Bandage, suture, disinfectant, and styptic. So he's good. Almost looks like he has a tattoo right there, but I think it's supposed to be all the mud. Ooh, the sound. He pretty much got his butt kicked and then thrown off a freaking bridge. I don't know how many feet down into the raging waters. Just had to deal with it.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Imagine if it was the beginning of his mission. That beat up. Oh, skeleton is right there. You gotta do it fast. I'm half asleep though. I'm just playing just to kind of get this capture. Enjoy my time on the stream.
Shagohod.
It's crazy that they're transporting it like that. That dude always looks like he's got to drop a deuce. It's always so tense, man.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
He's all sniffing around.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
His mouth.
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
If you rewind the stream just a little bit back and look at Logan's mouth, it's pretty funny.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her.
Think there's a bullet in there?
She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
So they basically blame that on the boss, the person that just defected to the Soviets. So she just takes the blame for this huge nuclear thing. But technically she's working with them right now. Damn, he's in a nuclear blast. I forgot about that, how close he is to it. As part of his PTSD, he has to watch that kind of stuff. Alright, we're gonna run a save here. There's a lot of saves on my stuff, so... we're gonna do a new file. I'm gonna try and remember this. The dates in between. So we're gonna run this save file here, and it's running an hour and 7 minutes, guys, but I'm gonna do about like 30-40 minutes more. I'm gonna watch this cutscene and see what's up, okay? I get through the first sequence and then first cutscene.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill, I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else.
Currently flying over the Arctic Ocean, altitude 30,000 feet, approaching Soviet airspace. Arriving at the designated drone launch point. Drone oil pressure and voltage are nominal. Payload oxygen supply is nominal. Power supply to payload antifreeze system shows no problems. No gusts. All systems go for drone detachment.
Snake, we can't risk a halo jump this time around. Airspace security has gotten tighter since we were last here. We can't get as close to the ground as we did during the Virtuous mission. So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor on par with Alan Shepard. This is our last chance. Show your patriotism. If you fail, you'll be back in a hospital bed again, waiting for the firing squad.
He always like low-key threatens him. He's like, "Oh, if you fail, you're gonna be in the jungle eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner."
Most advanced ICUs in the world.
Would you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours? I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
More like an interrogation. According to them, I'm a traitor and an accomplice to the boss's defection.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you, too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero out of this.
Does this mean Fox is going to die?
No. This Fox is still one step ahead of the hound.
He's dropping the
reason I
Fox
came to see
die.
you today, Jack, it's time for Fox to clear its name.
What are you talking about?
The situation has changed. We've still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind of chance?
Don't get too excited. Here, have a cigar. It's Cuban. This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No. Something even bigger. Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
President Johnson?
Yes, I hear you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of the Soviet Union?
That's right.
A few days ago, one of our country's main design bureaus, OKB-754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does
They figured out about their mission.
to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. If I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard then? The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Volgin? Of the Brezhnev faction. Go on. Who is the soldier?
Her name is the Boss. She's a living legend. During
Her
World
picture
War
looks
II,
so
she was
badass.
the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean the Boss?
So she led them to victory in World War II.
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The Boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells.
I'm afraid so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. Serious problems were found with the launcher's
I love how they
range
recap that in a flashback,
Although they were
basically, that was
mass-produced,
produced
they've
like
never been deployed
maybe
in battle.
15 minutes ago, 5 minutes
But
ago.
Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The Army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement to ensure our continued relationship.
What if we can't prove our innocence?
He just fucking threatened him.
I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal?
If you fail, it will mean the beginning of a new world war.
I guess Khrushchev's no longer in charge in the
Put it
Metal
simply,
Gear Solid
in order to
1
avoid
and
a
2
full-scale
eras.
nuclear conflict,
Maybe
we
Metal
have
Gear
to prove
Solid
that
1.
America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off. You were her last apprentice.
The only one
Screw this one
capable.
up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
The KGB has promised
Damn,
to
we're
lend
back
us one
from
of their
Flashback City,
communications
y'all.
satellites so that you and I can talk to each other.
Nice, all this technology.
That's it?
That's
They've
cool.
also put us in touch with a couple of
Easter
insiders.
egg.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
Precisely. Since then, they've apparently been training with the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva. I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Volgin's ranks. I've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
Another badass deployment sequence. More obvious though.
Control. Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet.
Those look like Russian jets too. You could see them in GTA. They're on old Molotovs or some shit.
Speed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
I don't think they're Russian actually. They're Americans. He's dropped off. I guess it's supposed to slow down to drop him. I don't know. Damn, dude. That was a rough landing. Especially after getting out of the ICU. Kept you waiting. It's cool that it shows that it's nighttime, you know. Kind of showcases the area at night.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Glad to see you landed safely.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more time. Rescue Sokolov. Find out what's happened to the Shagohod, then destroy it. And finally, eliminate the boss.
Dang.
Eliminate the boss.
This mission will be codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer.
I know, but that was the Kremlin's demand.
Demand? You mean it wasn't just a request? What's it to us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by the Colonel and his faction?
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear exchange, then that's what we'll do.
And what are the CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction of the Shagohod.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
What now?
I'm changing my codename. It turns out Tom wasn't the most auspicious choice.
What do you mean?
Well, the truth is, when I chose my codename, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one?
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? It came out last year.
This is funny.
That one.
Anyway, it's based on a true story about prisoners who escaped from a POW camp in Nazi Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels before they're finished. The prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it. You used the name of the tunnel they escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
Yes, that's exactly right. At least, that was the plan.
But
I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry. Tom was one of the unlucky tunnels. It was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
yeah, it doesn't sound like the greatest name to use. So what should I call you?
You know, let's just use Zero, like we've been doing all along.
All right, then. Major Zero it is. We'll start over from square one.
From square zero. My frequency is 140.85. Oh, I almost forgot. Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Is this her last chance, too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same kind of fate.
More or less
Her
the same kind of
frequency
fate.
is the same as during the Virtuous mission, 145.73. She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same, 140.96. And there's one more person on your support team. His name is Mr. Sigint. He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
Mr. Sigint. Got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you to rescue
Last week when it was
How will
nuked.
I know this Adam guy when I see him?
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the fallout from that nuclear blast. No one else would dare come close. The password is, Who are the Patriots? And Lali Lule Lo.
Lali Lule Lo. Gotcha.
You've been equipped with a 45 for this mission. Be careful, it's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent, to the Khrushchev regime at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission. Snake, if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Oh man, they got high stakes in this, y'all. High stakes. Okay, so we're in the black stuff. We gotta make sure, get the mission straight here. Right when you land off of this little thing, or we're in the night, so let's change your camouflage. Right when we land in this thing, the guards are gonna be after us, basically. They're gonna come check out this sequence. So we gotta kind of hustle out. I don't think it's here yet, though. This is where collecting food matters as well, because as you can see, we don't have stuff from the Virtuous mission. That's why I wasn't really collecting much. Not much to get through around here. Scenery to take in, but we're just gonna keep moving on forward. Another thing is a reference to like these little butterflies that fly around. I can't find them, but in Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, there's some butterfly references. Muchi North, let's go. This is kind of where we landed, I think, where we pick up the backpack, or somewhere else. I don't know exactly. I don't really eat all of these snakes, but kind of just collect them as we go. Get in my pocket, snake. Look, there's even one in that tree up there. I don't know if you guys are listening, but... Oh, he just punched it. But there's a horse around here. There's a horsey around here. Oh man, the freaking camouflage. He took the camo index thing way too serious. Snake, you don't even look cool for the cutscene.
Looks like death wasn't ready for you yet.
Boss.
That arm still hurt?
What are you doing here?
The bandana swap's pretty cool. She's fat. But watch as their CQC develops together as they fight each other off. He gets better in
Drew
terms
and
of
my
fighter.
sons are waiting up ahead. You don't have a prayer of finishing your mission. You're not even armed.
Boss.
I'm not your boss anymore. There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here. This isn't America. That should stir things up a bit. You'd better hurry. The border is 60 miles south of here. You ought to be able to run that far.
Why'd you defect?
didn't. I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose. What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings? You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you can't defeat me either.
That's tough.
You know me too well. Just look at that bandana. If you can't put the past behind you, you won't survive long.
Wow.
If we meet
Is that
again, I'll
necessary?
kill you. Now, go home.
Just got his hand crushed.
This is Snake. Major Zero.
I read you, Snake.
I was ambushed by the boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell. It's up in flames.
That's not good. Enemy scouts are going to come looking for you.
Yeah, I know. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go...
Legendary hero like the
She'd
boss.
double-cross us like this. But that's how it is, and if you don't accept it, you'll never be able to beat her.
That's not the problem. In terms of sheer technique, I'll never be able to beat her. I know that all too well.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy?
Ouch.
We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough. Hurry to the factory where Adam is waiting. Scouts have probably already been sent out to investigate the explosion. You've lost your weapon, right? That means you've got no chance of winning in a battle situation. Whatever you do, don't let them see you.
Alright, guys. Unfortunately, I'm pretty tired.
Snake, it's
So
so
we're
good to
going
hear from
to
you again.
save it.
Same here. It's been a week, hasn't it?
4 days, actually.
Huh?
I visited you in the hospital. You were still unconscious, though.
Then you must have seen me naked.
Yeah, but you were all wrapped up in bandages and tubes, so I couldn't do anything but look.
Better luck next time.
Let's hope so. But seriously, don't forget that you were like that until just yesterday. In fact, you
Damn.
really shouldn't even be on this mission.
He's pulling
Keep
game
an eye
on
on
her.
your stamina gauge. If you start to run low, don't push yourself. Eat something to replenish your stamina. And try not to get yourself hurt. If you're wounded or get bitten by a venomous animal, go into the survival viewer immediately and treat yourself using Cure.
Yeah. I can see you still know how to nag.
You're welcome. And I can see you still don't know when to keep your mouth shut.
Maybe so. By the way, I heard you're going to lose your medical license if this mission fails.
Yes, there was talk of that, but the mission won't fail, will it?
Of course not.
Good. I believe in you. But you know what? I really don't care about my medical license.
Didn't they use that to force you to participate in this operation?
No, I volunteered.
Why?
So that I could watch over you.
Dang.
Snake, you're the best agent I've ever seen. But you push yourself too hard. You're reckless. Someone has to stop you from getting into trouble. To make sure you and the boss don't kill each other.
Just
So
one of them's
that's why
gonna
I
die.
volunteered. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better guardian angel than me, right?
Thanks.
Stop right there.
Huh?
You can thank me when you get back.
All right.
Dang, she got the hots for Big Boss. Well, Snake right now. He's not Big Boss yet. So, as you can see, I'm pretty far into the game on my other extreme. And this one, I have not killed anybody. I have not gotten caught. None of that stuff. Eaten nothing. I'm running on an ammo shortage. But I have an hour left of gameplay, and I'm really close to achieving the big boss on that, but I did not film it at all. So, like, I can almost achieve big boss on it. It's a little bit easier than Metal Gear Solid 2 for me. But, you know, Metal Gear Solid 2, I don't know why it's so hard, but I play it easier for some reason. But the sequences are a little rougher on Metal Gear Solid 2. I'm just more memorized into it. But this is our save right here. We did the Virtuous mission already for an hour and 7. And we're an hour and 36 minutes in. So honestly, two more of these streams are supposed to be done with the game if we were to get Big Boss mode. So in 2 streams we could get the Big Boss. But we're not shooting for that. I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday night and a Saturday morning from where I'm at. I appreciate you guys stopping in for the few that did watch and check it out. Also, I appreciate if you like and subscribe to stream. It really helps. I like seeing that throughout the day. And you'd also catch, you know, the different stuff that I do, like God of War or Baldur's Gate with my sister. But I wish everybody the best. Good night, y'all.